Saya hanya akan membuat sedikit sahajalah mengenai Ellip ni, blended learning criteria, just for hanya untuk peringatan kita sahajalah. I think everybody already know about this thing, this criteria, just for the sake of this blended learning criteria, just for us to remind all of us again and again, because although we have conducted several Ellip courses, this workshop, there's still a few of us that still haven't achieved the blended learning criteria. So in our Ellip page, we must have at least one course information that will include our course outline, course schedule, or our calendar, and we have to put at least seven resources that is related to our teaching and learning, such as files, folders, notes, URL, links, or slides. For the files, folders, or notes, you can drag them from your computer to the specific section on our course. As for activities, at least we need 3 activities, such as forum, journal, quiz, choice, and then database, workshop, etc. And for assessment, at least we have 2, such as assignments, turn it in, assignment quiz that you can, it can be graded or non-graded quiz. Okay. So to achieve, ni stars ni, you have 1 star, 2 stars, and 3 stars. So for each activities, at least 1 participation, for at least for 3 activities. And as for assessment, at least 3 submission for each assessment. You have 2 submission, 2 assessments that is required, so at least 3 submission for each assessment. But at least you have 2, and activities for 3. And to get 2 stars, 30% of the students. For example, you have 50, I think 15 students. If you have 45, you have 15 students, registered students only participated in this course. And for the assessment also, at least 30%. And for 3 stars, you need half of the students to participate in your activity. Also same to the assessment. I think for our blended learning report that we received for semester 1, some staff did not achieve this due to these activities, and maybe due to like 1 activities or 1 assessment. Some maybe only got 1 star, or just because they are doing group work. So for your information, CAM staff accounted this manually. Whether so we have to indicate clearly whether what you have put in your Ellip is related to activities or related to assessment. Florence, there is a question from Dr. Florence. How is the star for this semester? For your information, for this semester, CAM is still working on the star. So there is no star at our page right now, but CAM is working on it. So please don't worry about that. So even we are doing online, CAM will still count the star for us. Okay, so why we move to new Ellip? So I think most of us are surprised. We don't even know that we are going to the new Ellip, but just for 1 or 2 weeks before the semester started. So some of us already move everything in their old Ellip instead of new Ellip, and some even doesn't know on how to move the contents in the old Ellip to the new Ellip. I believe if you have a call CAM, for the first part, CAM were willing to do it for us, to import it for us. But then I was told that some of us, CAM just gave instruction on how to import, how to move the previous content to the new Ellip. So this is why we moved to the new Ellip, just because to overcome the issues such as lagging and the slow when especially when we use a mobile phone. Okay. And as you can see, this is also there are some questions posted asked by participants in other workshop, why the guest login is bigger for our current Elip, for the new Elip. So for your information, we also have students. We have participants, students from UBS executive programs. They are not UNIMAS registered students. So there are some from others programs, and also there are students who have taken the English placement test. I think this one is the one that our faculty conducted. So they are soon to be students, so there are needs for them to access Ellip also for their tests. And there are part-timers, some of them have IDs, some do not have IDs, they are UNIMAS identities. So that's why currently their guest login seems bigger than us. Yeah, so at the first few times, I was also confused with that with that page. And however, CAM is still working on this. Okay. So why there were also questions. I also tried to access Vault. I thought we can just import our previous contents from Vault, but it seems that you have to request from Ellip, from CAM. So you can email. They can only given it manually. So this is done so that to prevent students access. So because it's a storage for us that keep our documents, our tasks inside, so that the students cannot access. Okay. Do you have any question for now?
If you have any question, you can just type to everyone in chat. Okay, we can try to answer together, no problem.
Okay, thank you, Adrus. Okay, this is how the tips and tricks for us when we want to achieve our blended learning criteria, especially if we want to achieve these 3 stars. Yeah. Okay. First, maybe we have to use grouping to reduce marking load. So for big classes, it's better for us to do grouping. However, if we in group, usually we have in group grouping inside our group. Yeah. So that's why I will also have to tell CAM that we are doing. We were asking the students to submit in groups so that CAM can count it for us, because if just now I have mentioned that to get two stars or 3 stars, there must be certain participation from the students. If the number is low, then probably we will get only 1 star. So we have to let CAM know that we are doing it in groups and ask them to count it for us, because the CAM is doing it manually, not automatically. So for now, that is one way on how you can achieve 3 stars. And previously, when we have physical classes, it's better for us to ask the students to submit both soft copy and hard copy. A soft copy so that it will be easier for us to store in our PC. A hard copy easier for us to make. So we have both soft copy and hard copy. And if those who are sharing courses, it's better for us to divide the workload. And we can reuse our previous semester content. This one we can import. And we can also use MCQ if you want it for the automated marking, such as quiz, and you can extract it, the result in the Excel file. we can use also turning in. I think for some courses, it is compulsory for them to use turning in so that they know the assignment is plagiarized or not. How many percent are the similarity. Yeah? And if you are going to have assessment or activities in class for nowadays, since you are doing most online, so this activity assessment, we can consider it as attendance, students' attendance, whether you want to give it, you want to leave it, for example, for here, we are putting it last 10 minutes of class, but some students, due to internet connection, they might not turn up during the class. So maybe for some, maybe they put it as the limit, the availability is for 1 day or maybe just 1 hour. So it also depends on the lecturer. But if you want to good turnout for the activities or assessment, then probably it would be better to do it at the end of towards the end of the class. And here we also have to label the activity or the assessment properly. If it's activity, then we have to label it as activity. And then also we can also put the generic questionnaire at the end of each LU. Maybe you can just ask, you can use the choice as whether the student will understand or which part they do not understand. So you can duplicate this questionnaire at every for each LU. And if you're using a group, combining groups in one Ellip page, then you can use restriction so that you know which group, so that they can only see their own quizzes or their own assessment. Is it right, Mr. Adrus, for this restriction?
Yes, and it is important to get higher percentage as well. So when you do setting for activity or assignment, so you have to set it as group submission. For example, for example, you are doing quiz just for one particular group of student, but you didn't set it properly to group, so the percentage will drop because the other group of student wouldn't do that activity. So if you just limit it to that group and all of the group did it, so it will be considered 100%. Okay, so this technicality can also lower down the percentage that will affect the percentage and stars lah. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Adrus, for the explanation. Do you have any question for now? If now we go to the next one. Okay, so the other one is we can set the enrollment key to avoid unregistered students from joining. Mr. Adrus, does this also will affect our stars? For example, the student is not registered, but it's inside our page because they just want to see our page.
I think they will be considered as registered, as whoever is enrolled is considered as registered. So we have to be careful about that lah.
Okay,
As
so
well.
what we
But it
can
will,
do,
but
okay.
the chances of that happening is very minimal, right?
Okay, so maybe from time to time we can check who has enrolled to our page, and we can just delete that students from our page. Okay, and then if you are using external tools such as Padlet, Quizlet, Quizzes, Kahoot, and then we have to report to CAM, or we can just indicate that that is for activities. So that CAM, when they do the checking, they will include that in our, so that we can get our stars. And as for assignment submission, sometimes some of the lecturer might want to use a different website. So in that case, we can ask them to submit use the link using the assignment tool in Ellip instead of posting it in forum. Or if we are using Padlet in our web page, then we can ask the student to just put the link in the Padlet. Okay. Okay, so
Yes, that is one thing about the labeling earlier, because for example, Padlet can be either activity or assessment. So you might be having, because you have to hit only 3 activity. So if you have Padlet and 3 of them is activity and 1 is actually for video submission, so you have to label it properly. So it will be counted as assessment instead of activity.
Okay, thank you, Adrus. Okay, so for if you are adding this what Adrus referring to, so we have to label it. Activity 1 is Kahoot, activity 2 is groupers, and for the assessment we have to spell it here, spell it out, penilaian 1. So when come to the counting, it's clearly, so they will count you. Okay, just like this. If you're doing the this is from the all Ellip. I got this from the all Ellip. So ask them to just put the link here. Assignment name, mission to define. So you just put the link here. Okay. For submission types, I can choose whether it's online text or file submission. Okay, this one I won't go through this one. So okay. Now we are going to the Ellip page. Okay, I'll stop sharing this one. So we just go to our Ellip page and see how the new Ellip.
I can see it, I can see.
Okay. So this is how our Ellip page, our new Ellip page look like. So I think you can just scroll here to see. You have for the students, we have for students and for lecturer. And as you can see for lecturer, we can go this one to special COVID-19 response guide page and to Ellip Vault. But actually, as I mentioned just now, that we have to email Ellip the CAM for access. We cannot access from here. We cannot just access. So here also mentioned that how to embed a file bigger than 50 MB on Ellip. Previously, it was, I think last semester, it was 10 MB, if not mistaken. And the other day when I saw it, it was 100 MB, and now it's becoming 50 MB. So here you can, like myself, I can see course overview. For this semester, I'm teaching 2 courses. One is my own courses, the other one I'm sharing with Dr. Joseph. Okay, you can access your course from here, or otherwise you can just go to your dashboard again. This is our dashboard. So and then here you can see my course. You can see at the left side and also the right side. You can also click it from here. And you can click at your right side. Let's have a look at my course and Dr. Joseph first. I have got consent from Dr. Joseph. So this is how our page look like. So for the welcoming page, so here we put the info and how our class will be conducted. So since we are sharing one courses, but I'm teaching each group for one course. So here we put the necessary info here, what time and how we can be contacted. So here we also have put the reference book. The course outline, the course calendar. This one is the info for the course. That's one will be counted. Only one is necessary. Okay, so you can put your reference book in folder here. Okay, so for our first class, so this is how it's look like for our first class. So our lecture, we combine our lecture first, and then this is how we put the schedule here, from what time to what time. So people, the students can see what they need to do. So for the for the first week, we try to do the inquiry-based learning. So the student were requested to do the online searching first. And then we have the discussion and feedback session where both group will go to both respected Webex, our own Webex. And then we have quiz 1. where a student do the pre-quiz, and after that, only after that we have lecture section. And it's combined for both two groups. And after that, we have the same quiz that we did for the quiz one to see whether the students can understand or not. And after that, Dr. Joseph upload the presentation slides, and then we have quiz. So you can see here it's being restricted because we have group 1 and group 2. Dr. Joseph already managed the two groups. So let's see how the quiz looks like for the first one. So first, okay, we have to turn on if you want. Okay, it's already turned on. So you can just have a look at this one. Okay, so we have the timing. Okay, you can set the timing. Okay, so from what time to what time, and you can okay, great. Okay, this one Adrus will explain more on this one. So this is the quiz. You can upload your videos, and okay, for quiz 2. So if you want to edit quiz, you can if you have this one quiz, you can edit. If when we already put all of our activities here, you can put here you can edit you can click edit activities here. So here it will be very easy. You can see the whole activities. You can edit for every week. From this one page only. Okay. For example, you want to edit the reference book. You might want to put something here. You can do just that. So you can just click the edit activities. In one page, you can see everything here. What kind of activities you have put in your course. Okay. Okay. So
Can I just add, Dr. Rokiah?
yes, yes.
One thing I found very interesting for the new new eLEAP is that you can actually restrict. You can set the quiz there, and most of the time we normally keep it hidden from students because we want to switch it on only at a certain time. But this new eLEAP, you can restrict the time. You can leave it there for the students to view, but they can only attempt it at the time you have set. And I think that's a very interesting thing this time. Yeah, that's just for me. I find very interesting.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Joseph. So I think afterwards, Mr. Adrus will explain this because he's going to talk about the examination. Okay, so for next week also, we put our schedule, but we haven't put any resources yet. So you can plan week by week. Okay, for the purpose of this workshop, I'm going to just show my class. Okay, I'm going back to the dashboard. Okay. And because actually the other days I was playing with this one, and I was clicking here and there, and as you can see, this one is still okay. As you can see, for this third week, all of my activities going into 1 week only. This one also I have made some, I have refining some, but because I was clicking, I was playing with this one. So I think this one today I will show you about this edit setting. Okay, for this edit setting, here what you can do is you can open your own also eLEAP. Okay, for this one, you can just rename if you want. If you don't like the name, you can just course full name. You can just, for example, course full name will be Japanese 3. Okay, Japanese 3. Okay, and course short name, you can change this one. Course visibility. And as for description, actually, I put this one in my course description. But however, when I display, it's this description is not there, but it's showing somewhere else. Okay, here you have the course format. You can see the course format. Here you can change whether you want to buttons format. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. add format. Usually lecturers, they will choose to have this topics format or weekly format. Currently, I'm using the weekly format. Okay, let's see how will it look if I use the buttons format. So I think if you have time, you may try this. May try all of this and see what happens. But if you don't have time, it will better we stick with topics format and weekly formats. But because my Ellip page is already in a mess, I will just do it to show. So for button format, okay, let's see how it will. You have many things here. But okay, let's see how save and return. Wait, why there is nothing here? Nothing happened. Okay, let's see. Okay, edit setting. Let's see for the button, if I'm using the button. Okay. I think maybe number of session. I think this one you will have to also to fill in this one. If no, maybe save and display. The other day I was doing by since maybe I'm afraid sometimes I think most of us are afraid that you have to change so many things. Yeah, so I think if you are doing the course format, for example, you're going to use the okay, now it's button. Okay, I will just try with topics. Yeah, we're using a save and display. So it will become under here, topic 1, topic 2. And this one, since I imported this from Ellip, from my previous Ellip. So if you want to, for example, okay, you want to edit the topic. Okay, not edit the topic, wait. Okay. So if you want that stay, wait, I think I just edit here. For example, okay. So, okay, so it become topic 3. So if you delete that one, automatically this heading will become topic 3. So also but because I already manually did this one, I used the week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. So if you want to change this one into topic, you can just topic 3. You can just change. You just delete the your heading here. And if you want to, for example, okay, if you want to change it into edit setting, you want it change into weekly. I think topic. So you use the weekly format. So automatically the date will appear here. Okay. But this one, as I mentioned to you, because I already did it manually, so it's only until here it become weekly. So you can change here automatically. Which one do you prefer? You may okay. Now okay. I think to add activity and resource, I think that is almost the same with previous Ellip. Just today let's try on how to how to upload folder or files from OneDrive. I think all of you, maybe some of you already know how to do this, but what we can do is, for example, here, okay, we can just go to our files, in OneDrive, okay. I think everybody, I'm opening this from Google's Google account. So you click this one, this nine button. Okay, you just go to OneDrive. So it will show this page. But at first you will have to upload your file into the OneDrive. Okay, for example, I already have this reading file here. and I want to upload it into my course file. What I do is, this is the share button. Okay, so if you just want anyone with the link can edit. So you can set whether you want to allow editing or not. Okay. So if you don't want to do anything, you just allow editing. So you just cancel this and then you just copy the link. Okay, and then you copy the link here, and then you go to our course, and for example, okay, I add an activity and or resource. Okay, probably you use label. Can just put it here. Okay, and then save and return. Either you do it this one. Adrus, do you have any other way to put it, to share files? Maybe you can share with us.
For videos, I have one slide letter explaining why I think YouTube is the best way for student for online learning purposes. Okay, because some student doesn't really have a good internet connection, so that's why YouTube can automatically reduce the bitrate of the video, so it might be more friendly for students with limitation on the internet. Okay, I will share it later.
Okay, thank you, Adrus. So I think this way also you can use, because we wanted it more. Okay, I think I wanted to this just now. It was a folder. Name is so we might just put a name here. Okay, that is for reading. Okay, reading activities. Okay, so resources, display. If you want to display, then you can display here. Files, okay, this one, if you want to drop your files here, you can just open your desktop, maybe. You can open, for example, okay, if you want to share your files with, okay, if you want to share some of your files, okay, you can just drag and drop here. For example, this is my slides I use when I teach at Tayo Udan. So I just put it here. Okay. A maximum size for new file it's put mention 100 MB. Is it 50 MB or 100 MB, Adrus? Because in the front page it said it was 50 MB, but here is 100 MB.
I think it should be 100 MB. It's
100
still
MB.
100 MB. Yes.
Okay.
But I rarely upload big
Hmm.
files actually.
Okay. So you can share, either you can share, or very easily you can just drag and drop it here. I think it's easier way. So then save and return to course. Okay, you can just so you have labeling here. A reading activity. So this will become your folder. Okay, another one I would like to share. Is there any question for now? No question? Okay, so one more I will share on how to embed if you are using Padlet. I know some of you already using a Padlet in your teaching, but I know some also is not using it. So let's try. I would like to try embed Padlet. As you can see here, I already embed one. So this is from my students. Okay. So if you have, for me, I'm doing it full embed. I embed it fully. So this is how it look like. Okay, when you edit. So the students, when they want to add, they just click this button add, double click anywhere and drag files in paste, because I just want the students to see what the other students are writing easily. So I asked them to just post this one. So this is another one way on how to encourage students to write in Japanese language. So we go to this is the Padlet that I have created. A Padlet is when I sign it's limit to 3 through Padlet, free Padlet, 3. More than 3, then you have to pay monthly. I think it's about 12 ringgit. So if you want to use, then you have to use only 3, limit to 3. So if you want to share, for example, okay, you might want to remake, okay, if I want to make a new one, so I will just do it here. Yes, self. So description, okay, maybe the same description. So I just submit. Okay, but we have to have an account first. Okay, and if I want to share, just click the share button. Okay, share or embed. Okay, if you want to embed here, you can okay, whether you want to share, okay, copy link to clipboard also okay. If you want to embed, then embed this Padlet, you can choose the full embed, or you can just copy the link and the student you can just put the link at your website and the student click the link. But if you want to do it just like what I'm doing, so just this full embed, just copy this one, okay, go back to our course. And let's see, let's go to our, okay, I will just do this one, add an activity or resource. And I will go to resource, okay, I will be doing the, I think, let me try level. Okay, so for this one, you have to click this icon, HTML. You click this first, and then paste this one, and then you click once more. That is already embedded. Okay. And then you can just, okay, if you want to restrict access, activity completion, whether you want, can manually mark, so this one you can just set on your own. Okay, let's save and return to course. So this is how it's look like in this one. So another one I would like to share is, if, okay, let's say activities, maybe I will just share it. Okay, for example, doing labeling also. Okay, here we can see new feature here. You can see here you can insert or edit video. Yeah, and this one mic. We can record audio. Let's see how I can start recording. Start recording, but it's only up to 2 minutes. I'm not sure whether students can submit their recording here, Adrus. Or is it possible for them to submit their recording if their audio?
I haven't tried audio before, but usually for student, I ask them to submit link to YouTube or something like that for streaming service instead of getting the course files large, right? I usually ask them to submit just links for that purpose.
Okay. So I also, this is new feature in Ellip, so we may try. Okay, and also we can record. Let's see, we can start recording. This is also, I think, okay, I think this is because I'm using the webcam now. If you are not using the webcam, then we have to try again. Okay. So this one, for example, we have the recording just now. So let's see how it looks like. You may try this later. Okay, you want to attach the recording, yeah? Okay, save and return to course. Yeah? Where is it? It's now okay, eh? Let's try. Play this one. Okay, eh? So I think that's all from
we cannot
me.
hear it because you are not sharing the sound, but
Okay.
that's okay. I tested it before, it works well.
Okay. So I think because I'm not sharing the sound, okay. So I think this new feature, if we are too if we think we don't want to write, so we may try this feature. 2 minutes, you can share 1 or 2 points of our lecture. Also, the audio is 2 minutes. It's a very good. I think this is a very good feature, new feature. Okay, I will pass this to Adrus. And if you have any question, you can ask us before Adrus goes to exam. No
Ada
question?
soalan? Yeah.
Ada soalan? The chat box. Let's see the chat box. Yeah, okay. Okay, no
it's okay lah.
question.
No question so far.
Okay, Adrus, you have until 4:30.
Okay. So my part would be a bit on the new Ellip too, a bit on exam, and a bit on why we should use Ellip. So let me share my slide. Okay, can you see the slide I'm sharing?
Yes, I can see it. We can see it.
Okay, let me start from the beginning. Okay, boleh nampak oh?
Boleh.
Okay, so for my part, I will touch on 3 parts. First, why use Elip? Okay, just to motivate and also to relate to our current situation. And part B, Elip examination setup. And I will emphasize more on what we can do in Elip about it. Okay, instead of the overall online examination. And part 3 is what is new in Elip. Okay, I will share a few tools that is available when we update the new Elip. It becomes available as well. Okay, so there are a few cool things that you can do with Elip now. Okay, so we start with part A. Okay, why we use Elip? Okay, so I break it down into 3 parts. Advantage of using Elip. Okay, let's go to that. Okay, advantage of using Elip. Firstly, it is the best tool for delivering asynchronous content. Okay, it can enrich students' learning experience. It enables innovative teaching methods such as flipped classroom, okay, to digitize the way of teaching, not only using traditional method. And currently we are doing online teaching and learning, so Elip is the best way to facilitate online learning. Then we can ask this question: why not do synchronous classes only? Okay. So synchronous class would be expensive in terms of data usage. Okay, if you only depend on synchronous class, for it, one course in Asasi, Teras or core course, it's 6 credits. Means you have to spend for that one course 6 hours. If you do it all synchronous, then it will be expensive in terms of data usage. Okay. In average 1 gigabyte per hour. Okay, so it should be used in moderation. Okay, synchronous class. It still have its advantages if used properly. So it should be used in moderation. And we have to choose the suitable activity that requires interactivity only. That one we choose for synchronous class. For example, if we have presentation, we have discussion. So that would be a suitable activity to use synchronous class. Okay, so if we conduct synchronous class, but we ask student to read something, that will be a waste of resource lah. Okay, so using asynchronous class, okay, referring to Ellip, as the best tool for using to deliver asynchronous content. Student can access the content at their own time and place, okay, and pace. So the first thing what it solves is some students have limited time window to access content. This is due to sharing devices. Okay, one family have only one laptop, so they cannot use the laptop at a particular time. So by doing this, we can solve this problem of where students have to share device, and where at some places in the rural area, the internet only available at certain hours. Certain hours the internet is good, certain hours the internet is bad. When it's raining, it become bad, and so on. Okay, so when we have asynchronous content, the student can do it at their own time and pace. So a second problem that it solves is different types of learner. Some student are faster than the other. Okay, so by using asynchronous content, it can accommodate this different type of learner. Okay. Also, if we have student with poor internet quality, because due to coverage at their place that they live, if we have synchronous class and asynchronous class, it affects the synchronous class more. Okay, the synchronous class, the experience of learning will be worse compared if it is asynchronous content. And then the asynchronous content is also comparatively use lower demand for internet. Okay. Okay, so let's move to part B, the Ellip examination setup. Okay, so number one, online examination strategies. Okay, so this 9 strategies is what we have done in Prayu when we set up our examination here. From number 1 to number 9, it involves the cooperation from the administrative, the top management in order to plan and create this policy overall strategy, okay, holistic strategy to conduct online examination. But today we are going to talk about these two parts, okay, how to set up the questions and also exam timing. These two component is important for what we call as integrity problems. Okay, we don't want the students to copy each other. So this combination of these two can help to reduce the problem of integrity problems. Okay, so question setup, we have randomize 3 things. Okay, we randomize the question order, we randomize the answer choices, and then we also randomize the question that they receive, meaning for one particular question, we have variance for the question. Okay, so in Prayu, we have the rule that each question must have a minimum of 3 variants. So one particular student will only encounter one variant from that particular question. Okay, so a 20 question online exam, for this is an example, we'll have with variation is 60 question in the bank. Okay, so you have to create 60 question, and then one particular student will encounter 20 of the question. Okay, so this will act as a good deterrent to copying and discussing. Okay, later on we will try to set up this question. Okay, another way to combat integrity cases is by the timing setup. Okay, so the exam duration must be set just enough to answer this question. Okay, so we also add 5 to 10 minutes padding for the students to settle if they have technical issues like internet problem and so on. Okay, this, by having just enough time to answer the question, they wouldn't have time to discuss and share the answer to other students. So that's the idea for that. Okay, and all students are required to attempt the exam at the same time. Okay, the time is more or less the same with the duration that they take in face-to-face exam. Okay, student that starts later, then cut off time. Okay, meaning if you decide the cut off time is 10 minutes after, let's say the exam should start at 10. We decide cut-off time is 10 minutes. So by 10 a.m., the student that want to attempt the test must give a valid reason. Okay. this will prevent cases of student that purposely starts late. Okay, they want to discuss the question from that they can see other student take first, find the answers, then they attempt their own exam. Okay, so these are strategies that we do. Okay, now I would like to demonstrate to set up a simple MCQ exam. Okay, as I know that you guys from FLC have a lot of this comprehension and for English especially, because I'm helping FLC staff that is teaching in Prayu. So this I would like to share a few problems that we encounter and how we solve it here. Okay, what we did here is, for example, comprehension or listening exam. But for listening exam, it's hard to limit the student to repeat the audio. Okay, so there's some limitation of using MCQ in Ellip for listening exam. Okay, we use article or audio file. Okay, followed with MCQ question. This is the general layout. Okay, and we use the type of question is description. Okay, later on I will show you in when we try to construct the layout of the quiz. We will use description to put out the essay. Okay, use randomized answer option and variation only. But we keep the question order intact. Okay, this is because we want the article to appear first and the question to appear after the article. And then that's why we have to uncheck the shuffle button. I will also show this one later. Okay, and lastly, this setting, when we click edit setting, layout, and select new page to never. Okay, so we can set the paging in the edit quiz space itself. Okay. Okay, so there are two main parts in creating a quiz. The first step is to create categories and question in the question bank. Okay, and the second one is to edit the layout of the quiz and add the questions from question bank. Okay, so this is how categories would look like, and this is how the question will appear. Okay, and this is a preview that we can see generated from two different students. Okay, so you can see that the ordering is randomized. Okay, so this student is answering question 2 first, and then 5, and then 3. Okay, while the other student is answering question 4, and then question 1, and question 5. Okay, and then you can see, although they have the question 5 here, it is all of different variant. Okay, so this is 5C, and this is 5A. Okay, okay, so let me unshare this one first. Stop sharing. So far tak laju sangat kan? Can you still follow? Boleh? Okay.
Belum berapa
Boleh,
faham.
boleh, no problem.
Boleh. Okay, okay. Because I tend to go very fast when I'm talking. So let me share my browser.
Page.
Yes. Okay, share. Chrome. Okay, boleh nampak? Can you see
Boleh.
my browser? Okay. So let's look here. Okay, so let's look here. This is for Ellip now. There are 3 components of Ellip that is important. Okay, if you are at the Ellip page, if you look at the top part, you can see Vault. Okay, but I think Dr. Rokiah have explained about Vault earlier. And then we also have exam. Okay, for exam is for any major exam lah. In Prague University, we use exam for both mid-semester exam and also final exam. Okay, so this is Ellip exam. I have a test space here that I can play around with. Okay, so let's, the first step in adding, to create an exam is to go to the question bank. Okay, go to the question bank and go to categories. Okay, let me make this page bigger. Okay, go to categories. And then as you can see, I already have final exam categories here, but let's say I'm making a test for mid-semester exam. Okay, so I let the parent to be default, and then I create a new category called mid-sem. Okay, mid-sem, and then just add category. Okay, so you can see here, I have a new category called mid-sem. Okay, so and then under the parent mid-sem, I will add the category called question 1. Okay, press add category. So now under mid-sem, I have question 1. Okay, I will add 2 more just for an example. Let's say this mid-semester exam have 3 questions. Okay, just make sure the parent is selected to mid-sem. Okay, and then mid-sem question 3. Okay, now I have done creating the categories. Okay, so the first step, very important, create the categories. And then you can go to questions, go back to questions, and then select the correct category, which is mid-sem. Okay, so for now, you can see that there's no question in this category. So you can press create new question, and then multiple choice, and then add. Okay, so under the category mid-sem, you can have question 1A, okay, meaning question 1, variance A. Okay, so I will have question 1A, 1B, 1C, meaning it gives you 3 different variants for the same question. Okay, so it is very important for the question to be at the same level of difficulty. Okay, you don't want the variance to be one variance to be too difficult, one variance to be too easy. It wouldn't be fair for 2 different students that have the same question. And also very important, make sure that the question is from the same CLO. Okay, you don't want the variance is from a different CLO, and that will make calculating the OBE for the course very difficult. Okay, and not balance between students as well. Okay, so let's go back here. Okay, you set the question name. So let's say this is your question. This is question 1, variant A. Okay, question. Okay, and then okay, shuffle the choices. Keep this one tick. Okay, so what's good about Ellip exam is most of the setting you don't need to change much. Okay, most of the default setting is already set for major exam setup. Okay, so that's why instead of using your Ellip page, I recommend using Ellip exam for major exams lah. For example, for mid-sem and also final exam. Okay, this one is up to your preference. Okay, you can just leave it like that. Okay, so where you put your answer, it doesn't matter. Okay, you can put all of the answer in choice 1. Later, it will randomize the choices. Okay, so let's say this is question 1A answer. Okay, I just put 1A answer. Okay, 1A this tractor. Okay, don't forget to put the answer to be 100% marks. Okay, so now you can see we have question 1A variant. Okay, so you have to do the same thing with 1B and 1C. Okay, so we will have 3 variant for okay, I think I made a mistake here. That I set the parent to mid-sem. I should put the parent as question 1, right? So I have to move to question 1. Okay, move to question 1. Okay, so you can see here under question 1 we have 1 question. Okay, so create new. Make sure this one is still question 1. Create new question, multiple choice, and now you can move on to question 2. Sorry, question 1B, meaning the second variant for question 1. Okay, so if you have 3 questions with 3 variants, that will leave you with 9 question in total. Okay, so instead of looking at mid-sem, let's look at final exam that I have create all of the question. Okay, so you can see here, I did the same thing as earlier. I just repeat it another 9 times with question 1, 3 variants, question 2, 3 variants, question 3, 3 variants. Okay, so if you look in under question 1, you can only see 3 questions. Under question 2, you can only see 3 questions. And under question 3, you can see 3 questions too. Okay, and the under final this parent category final exam, I add another one. Okay, let's how I did that is create new question, and I add a description. Okay, I add a description, and in the description I put the, for example, I put this essay. Okay, so I put the essay here. Let's say essay 2. Okay, so this is the essay. Okay, so earlier I add essay 1 and essay 2. Okay, so now your question bank is setup is done. Okay, the question bank setup is done. Now we want to use this question in the test. Okay, yeah, to make a test. So you go back to your course. Okay, so we use this topic 2 area. So add an activity. Okay, quiz. Okay, let's say mid-sem. Okay, timing is important, but I think you should be able to set what is the timing that you want to, what is the date of the exam itself. Okay, put the date, the start date, and the start time, end time exactly at when the test starts, and I think that is very self-explanatory. What you want to do is add layout. Okay, the one that I mentioned earlier, layout, new page, you put here never. Okay, when you put here never, you can set when the next page starts at the page at the quiz setting later. Okay, save. Okay, now you have this one. Now you press it and then edit quiz. Okay, and here you can add a random question. Sorry. First, we want to add the essay part, right? So let's pick, for example, essay 1. Okay, so we have essay 1 there, and then we add pick the third one. Okay, sorry, a random question. Okay, and then here category, pick mid-sem. For this example, I'm going to use the final exam bank. Pick question 1. Okay, and number of random question is also set to 1. Okay, so add random question. Okay, and make sure it is in the same page. Okay, so this is random question 1. Add a random question. Then we go to question number 2. Make sure the number of random question is 1. Add random question. And then add random question number 3. Okay, so now we have something like this. If you have this set up, you don't want to tick the shuffle. Okay, earlier I say don't tick this shuffle because you want the essay to appear as the first entry. Okay, so you can preview. Okay, so by doing this, okay, so you have randomized answers, and then you also have randomized variant of the question. Okay, so you can go here and press preview. Okay, you can see how the layout is. Okay, so the essay will be at the top, and then the question would be here. Okay, you can see that this student received the variant C for question number 1, variant B for question number 2, and variant C for question number 3. Okay, make sure you don't put this shuffle. Okay, if you put on this shuffle, you can see that your essay might appear in the middle of the questions. Okay, so you don't want that. Okay, so you don't want that. Okay, and one more thing, if you want to start the next essay, for example, you want to have you put your essay number 2. Okay, and here you want to create a page break. Okay, so that will be in page number 2. Okay, and followed by its own question. And earlier I showed you how to use description to add an essay, but you can use the same method. For example, you can use description to add even a video, okay, or an audio file, okay, by pressing this. Okay, you can put a video, audio, okay. You want the student to watch a video or listen to an audio first to answer the questions. You can use that as well. And one more thing, by having this one is in not random order, the question in not random order, it is also important for listening questions, because usually the order of the question and the conversation is following the order as well, right, with the question. So if you jumble it up, it might confuse student as well. Okay, that is from my knowledge of listening test. Okay, so that is an example of how to set up questions for online examinations. Okay, so any question for what I have shared so far? Okay.
Meaning here, Adrus, that we have to prepare. For example, we only give the student 20 questions, but we have to prepare 60 questions for that.
Yes, that's the policy that we use in Prayu. Okay, at least we can prevent. We want to make copying each other more difficult and not worth it. Okay, because in that time, students have their own question, and if they are busy helping other students, there won't enough time to complete theirs. So student can still copy, but we try to make it as hard as possible to deter it from happening. Okay, that's the idea behind it.
So how many the possible set for this setting?
The because there are 3 permutations, so one student, if you consider the combination, there's a lot of combination lah. But if you consider one particular question, it is the probability is 1/3 to have
1/3.
one particular question. So
Okay.
we also consider having more variations before, but I think that will incur too much work lah. Okay, so I think 3 question, maybe it's just nice for that. Let me share back my slides. Okay, going back to the slide. Okay, so that is about exams. Okay, I want to talk about a bit about live invigilation. Okay, in order to have live invigilation, we have a lot of prerequisite to have, but we didn't do it in Prayu because we didn't hit all of these prerequisites. Okay, this is just something that I want to share. I think Faculty of Health did this with the nursing student, which is very, very good. So student must have both smartphone and laptop, and student invigilator ratio is at 116 or lower. Okay, why 116 is because the grid in meeting, right? If it's more than that, then it will be difficult to invigilate. Both the invigilator and all of the students must have good internet and device condition. Okay, and smartphone is used for online meeting, okay, capturing the image, and laptop is used, or PC is used for answering question. We need time before the exam started just to adjust everyone camera so they have a good angle. And then in terms of fairness, if you can afford doing live invigilation for all students, then do it. But if percentage of students cannot afford to do it, then I suggest don't do it. Okay, so this is from Chinese proficiency test in Singapore. Okay, this is not what UNIMAS do. This is something I get from the internet. Okay, just to give you the idea of how live invigilation looks like. So, okay, so the smartphone is should be showing the student doing the exam. Okay, the student doing the exam. What we should be able to see is the screen, the area of sight of the student, and maybe their hands, what they are doing with their hands. Okay, so this would be the invigilators. Okay, looking at what the students are doing, just to give you an idea. Okay, another thing that I would like to share is about user override. Okay, it gives it is a feature to allow special attempts on quiz or examination.
Sorry,
Okay?
can I interrupt?
Yes, yes, sure.
In the previous slide, you showed what the medical faculty was doing.
No, this is not the medical faculty. This is some proficiency test in Singapore. This is
okay. Right. We have, this is one issue that has been discussed before. We also have to remember that in UNIMAS, we take in a lot of B40 students, and to have live streaming will take up a lot of broadband data.
Yes, I agree.
think this is something we need to think about. And instead of looking at overseas models where conditions and contexts are very different. Thank you.
Yeah. So that's why, as I mentioned earlier, these three prerequisite actually is very, very hard to achieve. Okay, so we thought about it, and then we say that it is not suitable to. We don't even satisfy all of these entries. Okay, our students, 15% of the students are using either only smartphone or tablet only. Okay, so that is a big limitation, right? And then our ratio is also very high compared to this number. Okay, we have 900 foundation students, so and less number of invigilators that can do it. And then also the coverage of students in the rural area, they cannot afford to do this in terms of internet coverage and also in terms of cost of internet data. Okay, thank you. Very good question. Okay, let me get back to user override. Okay, the user override is a tool that allow special attempts on quiz. Okay, so there are two situations for this. For example, if you create the exam and the student have valid reason that they cannot join the exam during the particular time. Okay, this is not only for exam. This can be applied to maybe your weekly quiz that have marks that the student wants to do it, not so that it wouldn't lose mark, and that they have valid reasons such as they have MC and family matters and so on. So you go to under quiz administration, you go to user override, okay, and then you can see this screen here. Okay, and then you can search the student's name here. Okay, usually I wouldn't give, they don't require password because this is given to one particular student. Okay, you set the new time for the quiz. Okay, open and close time. Okay, how much time they can do it when they start it, or you want to give it an exact open and close time, that also works. Okay, there are two situations. One is the student have not yet attempt the quiz at all. Okay, meaning you have a time, but they didn't even attempt it during the time given. Okay, so this way you have to put attempts allowed equals to 1. Okay, meaning they still haven't attempted it. Okay, although the time has passed, they have 0 attempt. So when they re-attempt, after you press save, they can re-attempt. That is 1 attempt. Okay. The another problem is when the student have already attempt the quiz. In the middle of it, black out. In Prayu, we have contingency plan. We give them PDF file and then they do it on PDF file. But if it is something that is not that it is not a major exam, you just it is a minor quiz. You want to give the student re-attempt. After in the middle of the previous attempt, it is interrupted. They don't manage to finish it. So you have to put here attempts allowed equals to 2. Okay, that will give the student another chance to reattempt the test itself. Okay, so this is a function used for managing examination and also invigilating tool as well. Okay, so that is user override. Okay, so that is our exams. Okay, so far, are there any questions on online exams or quizzes? No? All right, so let me continue with this. This is the last part for what I want to share today. Okay, so what is new in Ellip? Okay, um, so I think Dr. Rokiah have explained a few on this. I'm just gonna add a few more points. Okay, so why new Ellip? Okay, since the 8th of March, we have the version update from 3.2 to 3.9. Okay, we have new software and new hardware, new server that is being used. So it's more reliable, faster, user-friendly, and we have more features. Okay, so that's the most fun part. Okay, we have more features. Okay, materials from the older Ellip that we call Vault now can be imported to the new Ellip. If you email to Ellip at UNIMAS for access, they will include a PDF file inside there. Okay, and the PDF file will have extra instruction if you want to ways of how do you want to import things from the older Ellip to the new Ellip. Okay, it have a very comprehensive guide on how to do that. Okay, from what I've known, that there are 2 things that we shouldn't import from the older Ellip, which is the student enrollment data, and also Turnitin activities that have been done before. Okay, okay. So new features in Ellip. Okay, I break it down into 4 category here. Monitoring tool. Okay, how to monitor students that is in your course. Okay, new reward motivation tool. Okay, ways to motivate students to participate in your course. Okay, new activities. Okay, and new features. Okay, we have web version. Okay, so you can see at the bottom part of the Ellip, you can have the app button. If you press that, you can choose either app from the App Store or from the Google Play according to your device, and then you can have the app. Okay, but the web version still is the best way to view the course lah. Okay, we have accessibility setting. The accessibility setting, you can have dark mode. Okay, you have bigger phones. Okay, you can have dyslexic phones as well. Okay, so what I highlighted here is what I think is the best addition. Okay, you can see a progress bar. It can be used as both monitoring tool and also as a reward motivation tool. Okay, I will show this one later. Okay, we also have heat map and attendance tool. Okay, attendance, since we are not seeing student regularly and then we have to take attendance, this attendance tool is quite useful. Okay, it's quite useful. Level up to motivate student. Okay. Okay, this is how the progress bar looks like. It's a box that you can add at your page. Okay, you can see something like this. Okay, so you can, for every activity that you add, activity and assessment that you add, you will have a tiny box. Okay, And if you use the weekly format, okay, which is what I suggested, I think that is the best way to show your course. Now we'll move the indicator here will move forward according to the due dates that you have for each activity. For example, if you mouse over on this activity here, it will say the activity is a chat, okay, and it is green because it is already completed, okay, and then you also have the due date for it there, okay. So if the student mouse over here, red means it's already due, okay, it's already due, and then the student haven't done it, and then the deadline is already passed. Blue means future tasks, okay, tasks that have not is the lecturer did not expect you to start on it yet. Okay, so this is your view. The student cannot see this button. Okay, the student will also have this box, but they cannot see this button. If you press this button, you will have a report. Okay, so you can see the list of students, and then you can also sort it in order of progress. Okay, so you can see student that have you want to see who have the least progress, for example, and then you can straight away send a message why you haven't done anything for this course, for example. Okay, so what it gives you visual cues to summarize the overall task for the course. Okay, so the student can see if they have read, it means that they forget to do something. Okay, so it's a good visual cue to ensure that to motivate student to participate more. That's why I put the progress bar in both category of monitoring. Okay, so that the lecturer can see who have done what, and then also to motivate the student. Okay. So I think progress bar is one of the best new features that we have. Second one is the heat map. Okay, heat map is also a box that you can add to your page. When you activate the heat map, you can see currently how many student is accessing which part of your page. You can see, for example, the one after this icon here, meaning how many distinct user. The one with the I button is how many people have seen it. Okay, for example, this is 47 views from 5 distinct user. Okay, so heat map usually it have for example the past 15 minutes. Okay, so it will just capture and give heat map. You can set it at the box for how the duration of the heat map itself. Okay, so you can see which one is student is doing, which one are they not doing. Okay, so it is more visual cues. It is only instructor only, so only instructor can see. Okay, it gives you statistic of views and distinct user. Okay, the third one is level up. Okay, this is used to motivate student. Okay, earlier we have badges. Currently we have also stamps, but I think level up is the easiest one to use. Okay, it is automatically done. Okay, you just add a box in your page, and then all activity in your page will lead to XP points, okay, experience points, okay, and student will accumulate this experience point without they even realizing it, and then they will level up to level 2 and then level 3 and so on. Okay, and this gives the student the sense of competitiveness among themselves, okay, among the peers, and this also considered gamification feature. Okay, so when the student say I am already level 3, okay, because he have done most of the activities given, and the rest of the student will also want to do the same, okay, to reach the higher level. Okay, why I like this feature is you just add the box and everything is done automatically. Okay, even taking attendance, you have 3 XP, view the course, you have 9 XP. So it is automated. Okay, compared to stamps and compared to badges, you have to create the image of the badge. You have to assign for what activity will student have received the badge or the what we call it, the badge or sticker, right? But this or stamps, okay, but this one is done automatically. You don't have to put any effort on this, okay? Okay, next I would like to share attendance. Okay, this is useful, especially for fully online courses. Okay, so you can see we have this box at the side. Okay, so you can set from from the beginning of the semester, you can set all of the classes from week 1 until week in Prayu we have 18 weeks, so week 1 until week 18. Okay, we put all of the weeks there. Okay, we can also modify the weeks. Um, the way we set it is, let's say you have class on every Friday. We just set one class and then say we repeat it for every Friday, so it will appear. Okay, so you can also do minor adjustment. For example, you want to say that this date is holiday, so you want to adjust it to a replacement class. So you want to cancel this class, you can do it easily. Okay, it is only one activity for the whole page. You can put it at the announcement area. I think that is suitable. So all attendance of the semester in one place. Okay, you can generate report to Excel. It is very user friendly. It also shows to the student what is the current percentage. For example, this one, I tried this, but I don't have any student because this is just a test page, so it shows 0%. Okay, so the student can see now I have less than 80%, so I have to attend all of the rest of the class, so I wouldn't be barred from exam, for example. Okay, so this gives you give the students motivation as well to attend classes. Okay, student can record on attendance using password given. Okay, so there are two methods. You can let student record their attendance just by pressing the activity and then pressing attend, or you can give a password that you will share in your video, for example. Okay, you want to make it a little bit tricky for them, you just share the password in the video. Okay, but you can do it manually, meaning you can, if your class is only 10 students, you can access the attendance activity and record each of the student by calling or checking their activity that they have done, or you can ask them to do it themselves. Okay, for this new feature, you want to add both block and activity. Okay, block, you can see the report. And the activity is the one that you press to record the attendance, whether you want you yourself to do it manually, putting the status for each student, attend, absent, late, and it also shows current percentage. Okay, so that would be, let me show you, let me share my browser again and show you how to add these things that I have. Okay, let me stop sharing here first. And then let me share. Okay, so back to my browser. Can you see my browser?
Yes, yes, you can see it.
Okay, so this is a page that I use to play around. So first, I would like to show you the completion progress. Okay, this course haven't started yet, but I add a lot of activity, so you can see all future activity. If you mouse over, okay, you can see what activity will be coming on soon. Okay, if you complete it, it will be green. If it is due, it will be red. Okay, so by just looking at this completion progress, the student themselves, by using the visual cues and looking at the color, they can see what they should do for the current week. Okay, and then you can press overview of student. Okay, you can see what they have achieved, what is their progress, and then send a message to them from this view, which I think is very useful. How to add it? Okay, make sure this one is expand. Okay, these 3 lines, you expand it. And then wait, where is it? Usually there is add box here, but it's currently missing. Wait, let
Maybe
me
at
see.
each activity, Adrus, when you collect
Each
when you
activity,
collect
is
the
it?
activities, I think there is a
Oh, I think
completion.
because I forget to turn editing on. Okay, rookie mistake. Sorry. Okay, add a block. Okay, and then you can see a lot of block that is available here. So for progress report, you want to go completion progress. It starts with C, completion progress. Okay, so you press this one. Okay, and then you can see this one will appear at this side. Okay, you can see this one appear. And then it will automatically capture all of the activity. Okay, so it's very automated. That's why I like it. Okay, this is the new feature that I recommend instructor to use. Okay, so that's the first one. And then we have the heat map. The same thing at a block. Go to heat map. What is the name of heat map? Sorry. Heat map hash. Okay, I think because I add it already, so it is not there. But after you add it, you can see it appearing here. Okay, so you can see total views and distinct user views. And then you can also toggle the heat map on and off. Okay, so heat map, you can see things like this. Okay, red color means it has been seen a lot of time recently. Okay, yellow, not very recent. Okay, so the very recent is in red. Okay, yellow have been accessed before and so on. Okay, that one is for monitoring tool. Okay, it's a monitoring tool. Level up, you can see here the same thing at a block. Okay, find under L, level up. Okay, the name is level up. You click it, you can see something like this. Okay, so XP gain is recorded automatically. You can see here, I am already at level 2 just by doing some activities in it. I am already at level 2. So it's a very good tool because it is automated and it motivates students to do more things in the course. Okay, and last one is the attendance. Okay, so attendance, you want to add 2 things. So add a block. Okay, so I already add it. It is somewhere up here under attendance. Okay, A. Okay, so you can see the instructor view is something like this. Okay, the one if you change it to student, okay, you can see. Okay, you can see something like percentage. Okay, something like percentage like this. Okay, and as a student, sorry, let me show you how to. Okay, usually you want to put your attendance activity near the at the top at the announcement part. Okay, so it will appear on every week page. And then you do this by adding an activity and clicking attendance. Okay, and clicking attendance. Once you add the attendance, you will see something like this that you can click. Okay, and then you can add session. Okay, you can add session. For example, you have class from 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock every Friday. Okay, so you click this multiple session and repeat the session above as follows on Friday. So every Friday, you will have this class. Okay, if you have more than one, you can tick more. Okay, and then here, because of online learning, students are doing it asynchronously. You want to allow students to record their own attendance. Click this one, and then click random password will also work. Okay, I will show you what it will do later. And then press add. Okay, so you can see these classes will generate themselves automatically. You can do a bit of housekeeping, change the dates, or you want to delete that week. Okay, and when you want to capture the, for example, this one we set students to do it by themselves, but you can also edit it. Okay, for example, you want to take attendance. Okay, you can set the student to be present, late, excuse, or absent. Okay, you can set the status for the class. And then if you want the students to be able to register their own attendance, and because we require a password earlier, you can share this password to the students. Okay, and also the QR code if you want. Okay, but if you don't want the QR code, you can just share the password like this. Okay, so you can even put this in your slides. Okay, if you want to force the students to read the slide. Okay, so the password will be available in the slide, so student will somehow forced to read the slide or watch the video. Okay, just a few things that you can do. So students can see their own attendance, and if they are they see I am absent here, but I am actually present, so they can settle it with the course owner or the facilitator. Okay, and as I mentioned earlier, it can be used to motivate the student as well. Okay, so that is a few things that we like to share about the new Elip, what can be done in the new Elip. I'm gonna
Adrus,
stop.
for the attendance, Adrus,
Mm-hmm.
do you have limit or do you limit the time for them to for the attendance? I mean, they must check during you have the beginning date and the end date or how?
Yes, like for example, the one here, it is set between 2 to 3 p.m.
Okay.
Okay, so only during this time they can they can do their own register their own attendance for this class. Okay, usually if you are handling asynchronous class, you would like to put a longer time, like 24 hours. So during that time, in that 24 hours, student can set themselves as to attend this activity. Okay, an alternative for that is just to make a quiz. Okay, but in a quiz, the attendance is you have to compile it, right? You have to compile it. So maybe that's where this attendance activity is useful. Okay, and you can also export. Um, um, it's not possible now, but if you can export it like for the whole semester, what is the percentage of the student? Okay, which is usually what we are interested in because we want to block students below 80% from exams, for example, things like that. Okay, it's useful. Okay, I'm gonna
Just,
stop.
okay. Just now you mentioned that you have for students who are late or students who are having excuse, meaning in that case you are the one who are going to tick for them or the student will tick it for themselves.
If the student did not attend the class, I think you can automatically set them to the status unmarked. Okay, meaning they didn't manage to mark themselves, and then you can set the status later to be absent without excuse and so on, because you can play around with the status here. Okay, you can have if you don't want to consider late student, you can remove this part. Okay, you just want present and absent, for example, because if you have a good excuse, you just want to consider the student as present, for example. Okay, so you can play around with these settings to fit
Okay.
the situation of your class.
Okay.
Yes, interesting, right? This
Yeah.
tool.
It's
Okay.
just that the student have to contact us so that if it's over the time, it's already
Yes.
deadline, then we are the one who have to monitor this one and to have
Yes.
change.
We can say that to student, we will consider you absent unless you contact me
Okay.
about it. Yes.
As
Something
for
like that.
just now you mentioned about the QR code, meaning everybody will have the same QR code, right? Not for for
Yes,
particular
yes, yes,
students. Yeah.
yes. They can share it anyway. Similar with the password. Okay, they can just tell the student, you can just go and use this password. It's hard to prevent that. But it's a similar thing that we have nowadays. Student share answer for quiz for attendance. So, so as long as they did an effort for the attendance task, we can consider them as attending lah. Okay, let me stop sharing that. Stop sharing. Okay, I have a few more things. Okay, I think let's answer some questions first. Okay, it is possible to sync the info in this attendance to our QR attendance system. Currently, no, because it's two separate systems. Yes.
It's redundant, right? We are having QR code and we are also
Yes.
having this one.
But my additional answer for that is if you have synchronous class, then the QR attendance, you can use the QR attendance system, right? But if you have asynchronous class, so you have to find a different method um, to capture attendance lah. Okay, such as in Prayu we used to do a simple task such as choice or usually quiz, okay, related to the content, so that we can make sure student cover the content and then answer a simple quiz, 2 to 5 questions, something like that, something simple.
Just that now since they are auditing our course file, we are required to submit the QR code, the QR attendance for our file. I'm not sure for those, but for our faculty, I think we are required to submit that
Yes,
QR
it's
attendance.
usually in the course file, right? The
Yeah, for
attendance
the
should
course
be
file.
part of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I think let me continue with
Okay.
the rest of the. Okay, so they have done this. Okay, general ellipse tips. Okay, so the rest, we just take a few more minutes. Okay, for video, use YouTube. Okay, like the question that Dr. Rokiah asked me earlier, how to put video in Ellip. The best way is to use YouTube because it's easy to embed. It have reliable server. Okay, you don't want to just student to every student to stream from a UNIMAS server. It will be very demanding for the server. So if you embed from YouTube, so that when the student watch the video, it's actually from the YouTube server. Okay, so and it is actually faster. Uh, it it will This is the best thing about it. Like, it will auto decrease the bitrate of low internet bandwidth. Um, so student that if you capture your video, it might be in HD, or if you have better video cam, it will be in 4K, for example. So the size of the video is very big. So if it is the video that you upload to YouTube, it will be automatically the bitrate will decrease automatically until 480 until 360 bit. That will save a lot of um, data from the student, and also they can watch it smoothly because streaming, right? Because streaming, if the bitrate is high but your internet is low, it have to do buffering. Okay, so it will affect the comfort of the student learning, right? So if you want to don't want to have the auto decrease, you need to convert the video. Okay, so if you want to skip on doing that, you put to YouTube, so it will it have the automatic picture to decrease the bit rate. Okay, but my tips here is to use bigger size letter and picture. Okay, considering if it is automatically the bit rate is decreased until 360, the student can still read the letters and the words that you write in your video, for example, okay, or the picture, put it bigger. By using YouTube, you also decrease CAM server traffic instead of putting the video in CAM server, for example, although it's limited to 50. Also, it is limited to 50 meg. You cannot make a long one. And then if you put in cloud storage video, it is in original size. Okay, for example, earlier, Dr. Rokiah teach you how to put it from OneDrive, is it? Is it OneDrive earlier? Okay, it is okay to do that with shorter video, but if you have a video with very high resolution HD, for example, so then we'll have to buffer the video in the original size, okay? And you know that videos like that will easily reach 1 gigabyte for 30 minutes class like that. So I myself will avoid using cloud storage video as well, okay? For example, you will put it in OneDrive, you put it in Dropbox, okay? It will show the video in the original size and doesn't decrease the bitrate. Okay, this one we already discussed together. For use grouping for activities, okay? Increase collaboration, especially when we have a student not seeing other student. If you put all of the tasks to be individual, they will feel that they are studying alone, very lonely. Okay, so use grouping so that they are forced to interact with other students. Okay, and they also reduce marking load. And then Ellip gives very good functionality for grouping. Okay, so it can be done automatically, or student can register their own groups. Okay, if they have students that they are close to, they can pick their own members. Okay, the functionality in Ellip is very good for this. Okay, and this one we also discussed it earlier. Okay, information, content, activity, assessment. Okay, 1732. I always summarize it like this, so I won't forget. Okay, label it, especially for external activities. Okay, it is CAM verification. Okay, and will also determine things like what I mentioned earlier. What is activity? What is assessment? So it won't be confused as the other. Okay, external tools, a good rule of thumb that I always do is I use external tool that is embeddable in Elip themselves. I try to prevent a student from clicking something and going out from the Elip page, okay? Because I want to retain the student focus in the Elip page content and avoid them from missing out on the activities. The one that I always use is YouTube for video, as I mentioned earlier. Padlet is a good brainstorming and collaborative tool. Okay, students can work together. And then you can also embed this at your at like how Dr. Rokiah have shown earlier. And then Google Sheet. Okay, this is something that I also discovered recently. And it gives you endless possibilities. Okay, let me show you the step how to embed Google Sheet. Okay, this is instruction that I get from the online. Okay, and I modified a bit, especially you can see this part here. You can try this one yourself later. It's a bit tricky, but if you go step by step, you should be able to do it. I just want to show you what it does first. Okay, so I'm gonna stop sharing my slide. I'm gonna share my browser again. Okay, so you can see at this page, okay, so this is a dynamic spreadsheet. Okay, so it can be used for a lot of things. For example, I have students group in this class choosing a topic for to do an essay, for example. Okay, if you have a spreadsheet in your in your Ellip course, you can ask them to pick up a topic. For example, you can this one want to do about um, an ocean, for example. So they can straight away type inside. They doesn't have they don't need to have um, Gmail account or login. They can straight away edit it. Okay, so if they want to ask any question or you want to put any announcement, there's a limitless way on how to use spreadsheet. Okay, you want to record as absentees in your class. Okay, you want a place where student can ask question. You want a place where you can put announcement. Okay, you don't even have to press edit. Okay, you can just straight away type something in. Student can straight away type something in. You treat it like a shared area where everyone
Share
can.
document.
Yes. Okay. I tried doing this with Microsoft Excel online, but because of the strict requirement for um, because we are using UNIMAS account, right? That doesn't allow sharing with public. So you can use Google Sheet instead to do this. Okay, for example, if you want one word feedback on LU2 that everyone can see, so the student can just put their metric number and the word. Okay, so there are, you can play around with this. There are limitless way to have this. And I myself, I like to use a spreadsheet for um, a lot of things. Okay, so this is handy to have here. Okay, that's an idea. Okay, just an idea to you. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing.
Is it
And
also
then,
apply with Google Docs there?
yes. You can use Google Docs or even slides, they call it, for presentation. You can have a space just to write things. Okay, but I like Excel because students can be editing a different box at the same time. Okay, I haven't played around with docs as well, but I think it should work as well. Okay, and it is embeddable with the same steps that I have shown earlier. Okay, I'm gonna share the slide again for the last. I think I okay, that's it. Okay, so any questions for any questions so far? Ngam-ngam 4:30.
We have another 4 minutes, I think, but
Yes.
ngam-ngam lah kot. Ada soalan? No question?
There's one question in the chat. How about embedding Webex recording into Elip? Same answer about the YouTube earlier. The best thing is to download the Webex recording and then uploading it in YouTube and embed the YouTube video in your course. I think that way would be, I know it requires another step for you to upload in YouTube, but I think it will be user-friendly for the student to view the video for the reasons that I mentioned earlier. Okay, it automatically decrease the bitrate. Okay, even students can choose the option to just hear the sound from the video. Okay, let's say the student doesn't have good internet, but they still want to follow the class, they can set the option audio only. Okay, so it will make viewing the video more accessible for all students lah. Okay, this is with the apa? With the aiming towards inclusivity of all kind of students lah.
Kita ada soalan lain? No other question? Kalau ada boleh saja email saya ataupun Encik Adrus. Kalau ada
Yes,
soalan
yes.
tambahan, you can email us. Kalau kami tak boleh jawab, kita akan minta clarification daripada orang yang lebih ada ilmu lah. Okay, saya rasa itu sahaja untuk hari ini. Terima kasih kepada Encik Adrus atas perkongsian. Seperti completion progress, heat map. Saya rasa itu adalah sesuatu yang baru dan insyaAllah kita boleh apply perkara itu di dalam Ellip kita. Itu adalah satu fungsian yang sangat menarik tadi. Very good sharing for us. Thank you, Encik Adrus. Hari ini kita ada pack food. Saya dah, untuk yang berada di Cube, kita ada 35 pack food, 20 di Cube dan di bilik saya ada 15. Di Cube boleh ambil di bilik Ustazah Kazimah. Ustazah Kazimah di bilik number 23, ground floor di Cube. So boleh ambil, ada minuman kotak dan ada kuih sedikit. Saya harap semua yang terlibat, yang peserta bolehlah ambil di tempat yang saya nyatakan, sama ada di bilik saya ataupun di bilik Kazimah. Okay, terima kasih di atas penyertaan semua. I hope this sharing is beneficial for all of us, and I hope we can apply what we have shared today for our Ellip page. Okay, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum dan selamat
Thank you,
berhujung
everyone.
minggu.
Okay, Assalamualaikum.
Thank you, everyone. Thank
Salam
you.
sejahtera.
Thank you,
Thank you very much.
Adrus.
Bye, thank you.